In today's video, guys, we're going to be showing you exactly how much it cost for me to build this amazing bioactive 4-foot long leopard gecko enclosure. And this is kind of sort of a bit of a video I've been dying to put off a little bit because I don't want to know how much that actually cost me. But let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the enclosure. Believe it or not, the enclosure didn't cost me anything. For those people that have been around the channel for quite a while, you might remember I rescued a big boa constrictor about 18 months ago. Her name was Xena. Stick it in the comments down below and let me know. Do you remember Xena? Anyway, when I rescued her, she come in this enclosure. So the enclosure didn't actually cost me anything at all. If you want to know how much a Vivexotics 4-foot enclosure does cost, I'll leave one in the description down below. But God, this enclosure has literally been through the wars. We had it for Xena, our big boa constrictor. Then it was used for a bearded dragon that we rescued. Then it was used for breeding locusts in it. It's just gone through the wars. So to give it a retirement like this and get it all repaired up nicely, it's well worth it. But then we're going to move over, see all the rock slate work, and we've got rocks over the back there. We've got this Lion King thing just here. All the rock work. How much did that cost? Again, it didn't cost me a penny. No. I lie. Cost me £20 in petrol. Quite simply, I went to the Welsh mountains. They've got loads of slate lying around. Well, I'll have a bit of that. Please, Welsh Government, don't hate me for it. It was stuff that was just laying around. I had a go at taking it, simple as. But it was a nice old trip, taking a little drive down to Wales, having a little drive around Snowdonia Mountain. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to do it and you've not done it, do it. But now, the plants. We've got that big succulent just in the middle, just there. We've got a little succulent over that back corner. We've got another little succulent just there. And we've got one behind the grass just there. And we've got all the grass species. Where did I get that from? And how much did that cost? Now, we are adding all this up as we go. So at the end of the video, you're going to find out exactly how much this has actually cost me. But the plants cost me £15. I got the succulent from a local garden centre. I got the little tiny succulents from my local reptile shop, Sutton Pets and Exotics here in St Helens. And the arid grass species, they came from a garden centre, a garden nursery, and they didn't cost me anything because they were on sale. It was a case of, if you want them, just take them. Free stuff. But let's go over and check out the actual background of the enclosure and the floor space and let you know how much that cost. So the background, you can see the full background there. That was styrofoam sheets. So basically just sheets of styrofoam. They were free. They were a padding that come inside an enclosure, and I just utilised the styrofoam padding and made that. However, the polystyrene, the styrofoam, that was covered in plaster. Plaster cost me £6 for a box. I only used half the box on the background. The other half of the box went on the floor. What do I mean by on the floor? Well, see all this area just here? Well, this is solid. Yeah, that's solid. So that is expanding foam. Basically just your normal great stuff expanding foam. I'll leave it in the description down below for you to check out. And we basically carved it all down out of shape and then covered it in plaster so it's a solid surface. We then got a £3 bag of sand and just basically sprinkled it over just before the plaster actually set. Obviously you can see some areas where the plaster's set but didn't take to the sand, and that just gives it that sandstone appearance. The expanding foam that is in there, you know, the stuff under here, there's a bit just over there, there's a bit under there, and it holds all that together. We've got bits down here, and yeah, the expanding foam, well, that cost me £6 a tub. I used 2 tubs in there. That's £12 in total. So far, this hasn't actually cost me that much. I mean, you can see how easy it is for anybody to do it. But let's move over to the moist hide, because this does have a special moist hide. Because you might be asking yourself, well, why is that all raised up and bulky? Why is there a big hole? Because that's an inbuilt moist hide. Look, boom. Now, it looks a bit rotten and ugh. That's going to get sorted in a modification that is coming soon. But these latches just here, because we've got this latch here, we've got all the screws, because we had to fix all the enclosure and add loads of extra screws just to help it. Like I say, you're not going to see any of these when it's completed. They cost me £6 in total. What's inside? Boom! The moist hide. Now, you've also got all the wood that holds all the moist hide all together nicely. All in total, the wood was free. I got it from an old breeding rack that I had ages ago. I just chopped it all up. You can see we've still got the ventilation in there. We can take the moist hide out if they're laying eggs in there or anything like that. Boom. Absolutely perfect. The actual latches all the screws, they cost me £6. So the whole moist hide area just cost me £6. And that big tub in there, a tarantula came in that from Scott's Invert. So go check him out on YouTube, say thanks to him. Now when we did build the background, we had some miscellaneous stuff we needed to buy. One, ooh, nice big heat torch. We had to buy that to go there. That was $5. When we were mixing the plaster, we added a little bit of brown acrylic paint into it just to give it various different textures and colours and stuff like that. That was only £1. To stick some of that rock work down there, we used a hot glue gun. So the hot glue sticks, they were £3. And that's what you'll find. A lot of the small little pieces like that just build up to having a massive cost at the end of it. We've got some big stuff coming up, because I mean, we've got the heating and lighting. We've still got to add that onto the costs. We've got silicone, right? 100% silicone sealant, just to seal the whole enclosure. We have got live plants in there. They are succulents, so there will be a little bit of water in there. We've got the moist hide. Everything needed to be sealed correctly. We went through 3 tubs of silicone inside that enclosure. They were £3 each, £9 in total. Now we do have some substrate. There's a bit there, there's a bit underneath the hot hide. You might notice, see, we've put that new piece of rock there. We noticed she didn't really like it. She didn't like any of this, just because the UV lighting can get in and it's just not pitch black. She instead liked that little hide underneath the slate just there. So we've put that log there and boom, she starts to use it now. Saying that, she's actually currently underneath. There, you can see this, look at that, there she is. She's underneath that middle hide at the moment. Must be the perfect temperature for her, directly underneath that. It's going to be absorbing the heat through the top. It's going to be passing it straight through the bottom. And you can see that little piece of light that's on her. Well, that's a piece of the UV light that's going through one of the cracks in the back corner just there. And she's absorbing it just there. She must really like it, because she can go further down that side behind the plants where it is a little darker. But we do have little bits of loose substrate around some of the plants up in that corner just there, just to add for the enrichment, add for the plant growth, all that good stuff. That cost me nothing. That's actually my own personal arid species sort of bioactive substrate. If you want to know more about that, make sure you click on the link just up there. All the stuff we have linked in the description down below, so if anything takes your fancy, feel free to go down there and have a look. Word of warning, they are affiliate links, so I do get a little bit of a commission kickback if you do buy anything from my links, but it doesn't actually cost you guys absolutely any money at all. That hygrometer directly in the middle, although I ballsed it up and it's covered in sort of plaster and stuff, and I can just about still read it, that cost me £4. And now we're going to move over to the heating and lighting, the part that everyone sort of wants to know about, really. Heating wise, we have got the infrared heat projector by Mega Ray. This is the OG, the old school original gangster, to do with the infrared heat that is in here. It's one of these. You would have seen other companies producing these saying it's new technology. No, it's 20 years old. The design, the technology, everything inside it's 20 years old. They're just trying to get a bit of marketing out of you. But these give off infrared heat, basically. That's all it is. There's not much light. There is a tiny little bit when the coil inside actually heats up, but it's not visible really. It gives off infrared A to infrared B wavelengths, meaning the heat off one of these will deeply penetrate your reptile, giving it the best possible heat, warming them from the inside out. Gives them a great heat gradient from one side of the enclosure down to the other. You get a proper nice heat gradient. I absolutely love this product. I highly rate it. I'm going to link it down in the description because they're just mind-blowing. I've found so much with these is interesting. My big boa constrictor popcorn is so active, climbing all over the place, and he never used to be. He used to have a CHE. He's gone onto one of these, bang, he's so active, it's unreal. But with him being so active, gets his blood circulating, digests his food a lot easier, he's a lot more active, a lot more enriched, and it's all because of the infrared heat projector. This cost me around about £30 from Swell Reptiles. I got it in a sale. It is linked down in the description, and word of warning, the Christmas sales are coming up soon. Lighting wise, we have got the Reptile Systems Eco T5 unit. This is absolutely amazing in zone 1, so it's absolutely perfect for any animal that fits on Ferguson zone 1. For me, leopard gecko, bang. Zone 1, Eco T5 unit. This is a full unit, so we've got the reflector, we've got the every cables, the bulb, absolutely everything comes in this box that you need to give your leopard gecko the best lighting possible. It's got all the instructions on the back, so 30 centimeters away from the actual animal's head, 1.8 UVI, which is absolutely perfect for any animal that sits on Ferguson Zone 1. We've got the best of the best of the best in here. This cost me £58 again from Swell Reptiles, and again I'll link it down in the description down below. We'll put it all on a whiteboard. This is where we find out exactly how much it cost. You'd be surprised. £187. That's not bad. It's not bad, is it? £187 for that. Granted, I've still got little bits and bobs I want to do to it. The whole outside of the enclosure, you can see all the wood framework, that's all going to get covered. It's going to be insulated, it's going to be absolutely amazing. But that is a project for just after Christmas. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing.